While we're on the topic of crime, one of the things that comes up often and has been coming up with President Trump, obviously, is bail reform. When Democrats talk about bail reform, they mean letting criminals back out sometimes within the hour of committing a violent crime or in a day or two. Cashless bail has been advocated for and approved in cities across this country and in some states as well. Have you seen it impact crime positively? No. John Koufos is a national expert and advocate for criminal justice reform, especially bail reform. He joins me now. John, welcome to the program.
Good to be with you. Thanks for having me.
All right, so let's talk about cashless bail. There's an effort underway. Apparently, there's going to be a major crime bill that's being crafted right now by the president. One of those components likely to be bail reform in the idea of rejecting cashless bail. If you commit a crime, if you punch somebody in the face, if you push somebody in front of a subway train, you don't get to be let out in a couple of hours. You actually have to sit there and go through the process, see a judge, maybe sit in jail for a few weeks, have a trial, the whole process. That's the way it's supposed to work, is it not?
So yeah, and I think I want to be clear, right? So cashless bail that is synonymous with riskless bail is the problem here the president's trying to solve. So in 94 federal districts in every state, you get caught in federal court. The federal courts have the option to put a money bail on you, but more importantly than that, Steve, they have the ability to detain you, right? If you do something dangerous, they have the ability to detain you. Say you have lots and lots of offenses in your record, or you commit a particularly heinous type of offense, you are presumptively detained, right? The judge has to find a factor to let you out, right? Which is hard to surmount. So that system works. And there are some places that have employed that risk-based, danger-based system for dangerous offenses and dangerous people. The cashless bail system we're talking about, the worst example of it is New York, right? Which is not a surprise. So in New York, what happened was they removed cash bail, but then never inserted a risk determination. So then you had nothing. That is the problem in a nutshell. And what the president's cashless bail initiative is going to do is it's going to bring a risk-based system like we see in the federal system to the states.
So, what about the idea of prosecutors doing their job as well? Because it's not just the cashless bail, John. It's the fact that when these criminals get there, their sentence is reduced, their sentence is no sentence at all. Hey, don't do it again. See you later. We see time and again stories of somebody has 10 convictions, 20 convictions, 30 or arrests at least. They have dozens of arrests for violent altercations and incidents, and yet they're back out walking the streets and they kill somebody or push somebody in front of that subway train that I mentioned. I mean, this is insanity. America wants safety first. Safety first. Make America safe again. Should be the moniker, should it not?
That's right. But from a bail perspective, that's something that has to be closed. I use a great example from 2022 in New York. Everyone remembers the gentleman, and I use that term loosely, who grabbed a bunch of feces and spread it in the woman's face in the subway. This guy was 37.
How lovely.
He had 22 arrests already, and he was out on pretrial release for two separate assaults when he did that crime, right? So here's a person that in many places, if that happened 1 mile from the Bronx where this occurred in New Jersey, that guy's detained in New Jersey. New Jersey has cash bail and New Jersey has detention. So that's problem one. Problem two is, how does a person with that many offenses, why is that person not behind bars longer? That's a sentencing argument, and there's a good place for that. And candidly, President Trump's the right person for that, because remember in his first term, the president obviously was very, very tough on crime, as he is today, but he also did tremendous things to give the right type of offender second chances. It was Trump that did the First Step Act. It was Trump who did second chance hiring, opportunity zones. So, I mean, he's really a smart on crime president. I think he's going to thread this needle the right way.
Well, I hope that's true. I mean, obviously, you're looking at the numbers we looked at today. People that believe crime is a major problem in America, 81% in a poll I just saw, including 68% of Democrats. These are super majorities across the board. 96% of Republicans, 68% of Democrats and somewhere in the middle of the independents. 81% the aggregate overall number of Americans who think crime is a major problem, because it is. Look, the one job of government, John, is to keep people safe. That's it. I don't care if it's local, statewide, or federal. The one job of government, protect the citizens, right?
That's right. And I think we're going to have to confront some very uncomfortable things in this country. The number one being juvenile crime. When you look at the District of Columbia, right, where I split my time between there and New Jersey, and in DC, the overwhelming amount of problems are coming out of the juvenile system. Juveniles are exempt from the current bail law, no matter where you are in America, because they're prosecuted in family court unless they're waived up. There's a whole thing going on there that we have to think about as a country with juvenile violent crime. And similarly, when we're thinking about cashless bail, or what I call riskless bail, right? The ability to detain is how we keep people safe. We do have to think about the immigration situation, because if a person is here illegally, many would argue that that should be an enhanced factor for presumptive detention. And I think we have to confront those two very uncomfortable truths. Well, not comfortable to me, but in certain parts of America, very uncomfortable. What are we going to do about juvenile violent crime? We're going to have to get tougher on that. And what are we going to do about pretrial release for people who are not here legally? And if we solve those two problems, we're going to solve a whole bunch of issues in our cities.
There you go. John, greatly appreciate you being here. John Koufos, national expert advocate on criminal justice reform. We need to clean up our act. And trust me, when I say 81% of the people consider crime to be a major problem, they want us to clean up our act too, collectively around this country. Here in D.C., one murder, I think we're at 15 days now. One murder in 15 days. We can make a difference, John, if we put our heads together and do things right. Thank you for being here.
I agree. Thank you.
Greatly appreciate it. What is your thought? Jump on stevegruber.com. Send me an email. Tell me what you think. I'll be right back.